Hi, my name is Stephanie Sahano from Sacred Self Healing, and today my painting is about doing something that I thought was impossible and making it possible. So I think I'm going to call the painting "It Turns Out I Can." I'm trying a different setup with my camera. I'm hoping this one works better today. So this is me doing what seems like the impossible and being pleasantly surprised about it. And all of this is like me sweating because it felt like a really big struggle. I did find a program that could translate into, well, I found two programs that could translate into all the languages that I needed. And I did get a team together who helped do the work. There were a lot of hiccups, some things that really didn't go smoothly, like I missed the first chunk of it because I had the time listed as 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m., the start time. So that was not good, but my team was great, and they started without me, and they managed everything except for one of the languages, and the interpreters who were doing the verbal interpreting were able to manage helping with creating the interpretations. I had done the interpretations for almost all of it. For everything that we needed today, I had done it in advance last night. But there was one language we couldn't find, and now I have a source for that for tomorrow. So one day down and two to go. I don't feel like I'm in over my head anymore. In fact, I feel like I made the impossible possible. So here is me tearing the word impossible apart so that the part that will be left is the word possible. And if you've been watching my videos in the past few weeks, you probably have heard me say that I'm trying not to beat myself up over mistakes. That was a really big challenge today because arriving 2 hours late to a workshop is basically, to me, a really huge mistake that only rivals my fear of like losing somebody that I'm responsible for in a crowd or something like that, and then not being able to find them. So needless to say, it re-stimulated a bunch of stuff for me. I'm not liking this paintbrush that I have. I'm not going to use this paintbrush. I'm going to switch. Okay, this feels better. We'll see if it works better. There were 16 countries. Is that right? 16 countries represented at the workshop. And so that was fun to meet people from all over the world. We had kind of small amounts of time with each person since there were probably 120 people there. And the workshop is divided up into different time zones because there's people from so many different places and so many different time zones. So that was also an interesting thing, and I think that's how I messed up my own. I'm not exactly sure how I did it, but I got AM and PM mixed up. And I only found out about it because somebody on my team texted me and said, "Hey, we need help. Where are you?" And then I had to come in immediately while I was not completely ready for the day and wing it. And everything that I had planned to do today to get ready for the workshop, of course, I missed it. So that was kind of challenging. But now the hitches are worked out, and I think I can do it from here on out. And one of the topics of the workshop happened to be being gentle with ourselves when we're making mistakes. And I kind of felt like they were talking to me directly. So that worked out for me. Excuse me. All right, so now I'm going to do the sign. If there's anything that you have done that is a mistake, and if you're being too hard on yourself, I mean, hold yourself accountable and correct your mistakes. But if you're like holding it against yourself and using it to beat yourself up, I would encourage you to see if there's a way that you might find a little bit of wiggle room in that situation and see if you've made amends, if you've righted things, see if there's any way you can forgive yourself. It's hard to go through life being mad at yourself. And while I know that forgiving yourself is not an easy task, I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. So I would encourage you to do your best to find some forgiveness for yourself. Okay, now. This is overall a very juicy painting. Let's see. I think I'm too tired to stay up later waiting for it to dry, so I'm going to just live with the blooms, of which I know there will be many. That's an unexpected color combination that I haven't had before. That's what happens when you choose to go with the flow, so to speak, and allow the blooms to happen. You can get unexpected colors. I actually really like the color of green that came from that blue mixing with that yellow. And it's good to know that I can make purple and yellow make that pretty brown. File that away for future reference. I think I accidentally used the color I used for my shoes yesterday, which is not what I'm going for. It's a beautiful color. I need to remember how I made it. I remember how I made it. I want to be sure to remember how I made it because it's so pretty. That's my usual shoe color when my shoes are not underwater. All right, so there's the painting of me tearing the Impossible in two so that I'm taking off the word the part that says im, leaving just the part that says possible. Thanks for watching. My contact details will be at the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.